All right, we're back on for another video. This is the fourth and final of summarizing session of Shane, part 4, the end. This is what, chapters 11 through 16. What is that? That's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's, well, wait. Yes, so that's a lot of chapters, but actually they're shorter than normal. So, we just went ahead and got to the ending there. And I would say I was surprised how, I was really pulled into this story. I'd call it a very sentimental story. Now, what does that mean? Even I can't really define what it is. Usually it has to do with memories, maybe kind of sad situations, or yeah, maybe a sad situation or kind of good memories. But I think that's really enough. I think it's kind of so you feel bad or sad about a situation. You feel like, oh, this is not good, but you understand why it must be this way. So it's almost like your feeling is bad, like, oh, I wish it couldn't be this or it wasn't this, but I yeah, I get it. I know it is what it is. Like, this is it. So it's almost like your feeling is there, but your reasoning, your understanding, you know, uh, is in control. You're like, oh yeah. So that's why maybe when you think about good memories, you're like, oh yeah, I feel kind of sad, or but I know it's in the past. You can't go back. So maybe that's why sentimentality has to do with memory. So that would be the word I would use for this story. Very sentimental. But anyway, let's get to the summarizing. I'm going to try to do this, super fast. Chapter 11. So we know that, and I'll try to do this just writing it, straight up. So, after the fight with Chris, no, not Chris. It wasn't Chris. With all the cowboys at the bar versus Shane, uh, the the big rancher Fletcher leaves town, and no one knows where he went. Okay, so he's gone. They don't know. So things become a little bit normal. Um, suddenly, or let's just say after, I don't know, after a while, I don't know how long. After a while, he returns, but is not alone. He has a dangerous-looking gunman with him, named Wilson. Okay, so sounds like Fletcher hired some, muscle, some, a fighter of his own. 'Cause Shane is a fighter, so now he needs a fighter, a stronger fighter. Um, we'll say that the farmers gather at Joe Starrett's house. Is that how you spell it? Is it one T or I think it's two T's. To share the news, and Shane gets very upset. Okay, so I think Shane knows what is going on, like what's happening. Um, he he kind of he let's see. I'm gonna say commands. He orders everyone to gather at Joe's house. It was to gather the absent farmers to Joe's house. Oops. He orders everyone to. He orders. He he makes the order. We'll say he makes the order to gather the elders at Joe's house. But it's already too late because one of them has been killed. Oh no. Okay, so hold on. What's going on? So let's make a new paragraph here. Okay, so it turns out that let's see, a man named Ernie Wright. We'll just say farmer. Farmer Ernie Wright was provoked by the gunfighter. Was provoked by with insults. Okay, so publicly, so in front of everyone, publicly at the bar. So in front of everyone, he starts making comments. I forget what he says. He just says rude comments, and it escalates where, either Ernie has to run away or stand up and, do something. And they both have guns. And let's say, yeah, so, Ernie is shamed in front of everyone, so he must choose whether to defend his honor or run away. And we'll say he made the mistake of trying to draw his gun against a professional. So, and that was the plan all along. I'm going to use my words, make this guy angry. He's going to try to fight me, but I can just kill him. And then in those times, that was no problem, I guess. And we'll say Shane immediately understood that this was Wilson's practice to insult, then escalate, and then kill in self-defense. So yeah, it's a pretty good way to, I guess, kill people. First, you say insulting words, and yeah, the person has the option to run away, but who's going to do that when it's public? Escalate, you bring it to the point where you must fight, and then Wilson I can shoot you first because everyone knows you were going to try to kill me. Let's see. So, and we'll say Shane. Shane, Shane is now very upset. And, and says they are lucky to have a leader like Joe. I think, and goes to the barn where he stays. We'll say another paragraph. We'll say the conflict. Everyone has so much internal conflict because Joe is worrying about Shane, and Shane is worrying about the farmers, and Marion is worried about both of them. What about Joe and his farm? So everyone is so conflicted. Like, what should we do? We're going towards a battle, a final battle. Is there any way out of this? Let's say because they are going to a point of no return. So, we're having these little there's fights and fighting, but now there's been a killing. and now they have to get involved, and it's going to a point of no return. So it's you cannot come back once we're going to this kind of guns and killing stage. Okay, so now we'll just quickly next chapter. Yeah, we got to go chapter 12. So the next day they have a funeral for Ernie, and everyone attends in town. So it's a good funeral. The coffin maker and grave maker, we'll say the coffin and grave were made for free. Next thing, if you don't, anyone sit down. The coffin were made for free. I guess which means everyone is supportive of the local farmers, we'll say. Okay, when it tends, we'll say everyone in town. Next year, and when the Starretts get back home, Fletcher shows up with cowboys and Wilson, the pro gunman. Okay, so now the confrontation is coming to their house. Fletcher offers a sweetheart deal to Joe, to Joe only, right? So, saying that he'll pay him good money, and he can stay on, working for him, but the other farmers must go. So he's trying to, he's got this united group. The people are kind of gathering together against Fletcher. They're seeing this is not good. So Fletcher wants to split or break, break up this unity and get the leader to join him, which is a pretty good idea. Instead of just killing everybody, because that's not good. So let's see. That's where I must go. We'll say this is a tactic to break up the unity that is forming against him, by recruiting the leader of the farmers. Okay, so what do you think? What do you think Joe's going to do? Joe says, "No way." All right. We'll say Wilson. We'll use his name now. Wilson, again, uses provocation by saying, something like, it would be terrible if something happened to your woman. All right, so you don't talk about, in those days, a man's woman. You don't talk about his wife. So that really makes Joe angry. Which of course is very, not provocative. We'll say it's very, very what? It's very inflammatory. So inflammatory, that means starting a fire, a word that will make someone get fired up. But then Shane steps in, saying that saying that without his guns, uh, without your guns, you'd just be a little boy. Oh man. So now he's saying, yeah, well, you're only tough with your guns. If you had no guns, you would be nobody. I could, you'd be easy to handle. Um, in the end, Fletcher and his gang leave, and the family, you know, uh, go back to the house, realizing that insults and comments are the insults and comments is the best. I'll say is together is the best way to get killed. What was I saying? Resorting to insulting others is the best way to get killed. Okay, things are escalating more, going up. We go to chapter 13. So Shane, they go. First thing, Joe's going down. So the next stage of this drama is Joe must confront Fletcher with his offer and reject it publicly, right? So he did it privately. We can do this to the side. No one has to know. We can keep it, secret, I guess. But now Joe has to really say it in front of everyone. Nope, there's no way, and I'm not afraid of you. To show he's not intimidated, which means you're trying to scare me and I don't care. I'm still going to live my life. Right, so that's the next stage of this drama. Shane goes to the barn to I guess kind of gather his things, and comes out carrying his gun. Yep. Carrying gun and wearing his original black clothes that he wore when he first arrived to the farm. Bob observes that he has the same terrifying look that he had when he first saw him. That's a pretty hard sentence. That Shane, has the same terrifying look that Shane had when Bob saw him. His same terrifying look as, let's say, back when he first saw him. Okay. Okay. Oh boy. Now, yeah, the conflict. We'll say so. So Shane goes into the house with his gun visible. So yeah, you can see I'm a gunman. I'm a gunfighter now too. My farming days are over. We got to handle this with guns. And Joe stands up, saying Shane should not get further involved, and that it's up to him. It's up to Joe to take care of his business and his family. So yeah, then I guess, yeah, this is again kind of the sentimental feeling where Joe is not a fighter, but he has his principles. So he knows he has to go into town. He's he's going to say, he's going to have the same trap presented to him that he'll be insulted, he'll be, shamed. Will the people support him? He'll have to, if he can say, nope, has no effect on me, you're not going to trick me into getting me to fight you, and you'll have to kill me just like you killed my friend. But then what? Then what are you going to do? It's just going to keep going and going. And so it is a bad situation, but you understand, like there's no other way. So maybe that's the sentimental feeling of, it's like, what else can we do? Maybe. We're going to say Shane knows that this course is far too dangerous, and that he has the skills to solve everyone's problem right now. So he takes out his gun and hits Joe in the head, knocking him unconscious. Whoa, so now Shane uses violence on his best friend Joe, and yeah, there's a lot of, the author gives a lot of exposition, I guess. Exposition, that means like explaining or describing something about how dark and terrible Shane is now that he has returned to his dangerous and powerful form. So he went from gentle farmer, nice guy worker. Now he's back to his very frightening and strong cowboy. We'll say, thankfully, Marion is not even upset. But asks a strange question. If all of this, we'll say, if Shane's decision is truly just to help Joe, meaning to ask if Shane has, any love for her too. So, and that's what, what about me? I think you're doing this for me too, right? I guess, maybe. Shane says, could I separate you in my mind and afterwards still be a man? And this, I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Could I separate you in my mind? So it means, could I guess, which I suppose means he could not call himself a man if he could not still call himself a man if he tried to isolate his feelings for Marion or something. So it means, yeah, of course you're in there. I would not be a man, a human, or a strong person if I tried to keep you separate, I guess. So a very mysterious comment here. I just tried to rephrase it a little bit. He could not call himself a man if he tried to keep it separate. But yeah, maybe, I don't know. That's a hard one for me. And he leaves. And he goes out into the night. Okay, so he leaves. It's nighttime. Okay, chapter 14. We gotta go. As Shane leaves, Bob follows. in the dark on foot. Bob falls at one point on the road into town, which is where Shane is heading to confront Fletcher. And Shane is with him. Okay, so Bob falls on the road and Shane is with him. So I just have to explain. Shane is going there, but Bob falls and Shane is with him. Or so Shane finds him and tells him to go back home. Okay. Shane also advises Bob to look at the beautiful valley that his father and everyone else is trying to defend and keep as their home. As their home, yeah. He tells him to never forget this night. So that's another interesting point too. Shane kind of captures a moment poetically, saying this is what it's about. This is why we do anything. Like, this is the motivation. I guess he's saying this is his motivation. Maybe he's perhaps Shane, maybe he's also sentimental. He's saying, "Oh, I wish this is good. You are lucky. I was here, but I must go. I must do this thing, which is, fight with guns. But you have it good. You have a good situation. You have a good life." So maybe Shane is also sentimental, saying, I'm sad. Oh, you are lucky, but I know I must go. I must do this. So perhaps Shane is sentimentally wishing that he could stay and live a more peaceful life, but unfortunately his principles dictate that he must take care of this business for his dear friends, right? That's kind of the unfortunate hero, the tragic hero. He has, I wish I could do this, but there's no other choice. There's no other option. But he's telling, Bob, you're going to have a good life here once he grows up. Okay, now we get to the final dramatic climax. Okay, now we get to the, the climax of the story when Shane enters the bar. It's called Somebody's Bar, but I don't remember who. Enters the bar, and asks for Fletcher. Okay, and yeah, it was pretty, quick. You kind of know what's going to happen. So, Wilson challenges Shane and shots are fired. Shots are fired, leaving Wilson on the ground, but Shane also took a hit. So he took a bullet, or he got shot too. Suddenly Fletcher appears from the on the upstairs walkway. So inside there's a staircase up, and there's a second floor, so he can kind of look down on the upstairs walkway with a rifle. Let's see. And but Shane shoots him too. Wow, so you just killed two people. As he leaves, he tells he tells everyone not to follow. Um, but of course, Bob catches up with him. In their final moment together, Shane tells Bob to grow up straight, meaning don't be like me. I guess don't be like me. Just have a good family, follow your principles. You have a good role model. Don't become jealous or want certain, don't, I guess, yeah, don't be like me or be better than me. Maybe. And to take care of his parents. Shane, Shane tells Bob to grow up straight to his parents. And also leaves him with some final advice about killing. Was final advice that you can't come back from a killing, and you can't change the mold that made you. Which is another mysterious comment. It's kind of, you have, I don't know. It's interesting. You have a destiny. You have a course. You can't change yourself. But I guess, yeah, he's saying that you were saying don't kill, and that I guess he's saying, yeah, he has to go because that's how he is. He's a killer. So he had a good time with them, but now he has to go. And Bob is overwhelmed with emotion. So yeah, he wants Tim to stay. You don't have to go. Why you have to go? But I guess, yeah, that's that sentimental idea, I guess. Yeah, he wants to stay. He would love to stay, but it's just too much trouble. He tried to solve this problem for the Starrett family. Now he's got to go. There we go. And then the last chapter, chapter 15? Oh no, it's 2 more chapters. We gotta go. Okay, let's see. Joe wakes up and is groggy from his head injury. He says, and a man called Mr. Weir tells him about Shane's gunfight. Bob also is back home and says that Shane only took a hit because he was out of practice, which I think Shane confirms just to make him feel better. Joe feels terrible and kind of wavers, which means he feels kind of weak, or what should I do? Considering selling the farm and moving to Montana, which is what do you mean? We did all this, now you're gonna run away? But Marion says that's crazy, especially after how much Shane sacrificed for them. In the closing scene, young Chris shows up with his arm in a sling because Shane broke it, with a and we'll say just offering himself as a worker once his arm is healed. So kind of, so Chris used to be kind of a punk, just a an annoying young person, but he realized that yeah, Shane's principles and Joe's principles is a better way. And finally, chapter 16, you know, Shane's legend spread through the valley, and about his amazing, you know, fighting abilities. But Bob grew up knowing that, you know, or just understanding Shane's true nature, that he was a gentle, that he was a, you know, a gentle, gentle guy who wanted peace, but 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 couldn't abide, you know, couldn't abide abuse from couldn't abide the weak being abused, because he was strong too. Really, yeah. I think that's it. That's it. That's a good ending. That's all. Okay, we did it. 36 minutes. You know, hopefully this helps, just showing that this is the process of you read something, you have to understand it, and then the really final stage, it's not enough just to have it in your mind. The final stage is you have to communicate it back out. And sometimes you don't remember, or, oh, what was important? So, you know, I take a lot of notes and I look at them, so I read them again and then have to put them back out. But then also, as you write, as you summarize, you remember or unlock new ideas and new realizations about character and story, things like that. So hopefully this is helpful in terms of vocabulary, grammar, and just seeing this is, if you can do this, if you can take a story in and reproduce it or summarize it for somebody else to understand it, I mean, that's it. That's the final stage of communication, I think. All right, so we'll see what the next book will be, and we'll catch you in the next video.